Hello, welcome to the Rangers Rebel halftime show. It's currently Rangers nil, Ajax 2. I'm joined by Lee, who is feeling so depressed about it. He sacked off the colourful shirt and has got on a
It's
funeral black um,
no
to get
attempt at
us in
me.
the mood. Yeah.
Hopefully, it's the death of Giovanni Van Bronckhorst at Rangers. But unfortunately, I don't think
um,
that's going to happen. So,
we'll jump into the half quickly because obviously we only have 10 minutes. I thought this is going to sound so ridiculous. I thought for 2 minutes we were very positive with the ball, and I thought it might start off all right, and we were going to have a decent game. But then a minute later, a ball in behind Tav, which at this level, if you push up and you don't have cover, you get absolutely punished for. It's laid off into the box. Sorry, nice little touch to the edge. Feels like before this guy's even made this touchdown, McGregor's already on the floor. Um, I haven't seen. I haven't really seen the replay. So I think he meant it. I think he meant the little dink finish. But Leon King obviously doesn't cover himself in glory either. Sort of like lets it go. I don't know if he's thinking McGregor's behind him to catch it, or if he thinks it's going out. But just a disaster all round.
I mean, that kind of shows you how far the standards have slipped, mate. If we were like after 2 minutes, there's a wee bit of pressing here. This looks good. Um, Mate, the first goal is just comical errors. No one is going to convince me that James Tavernier is not injured. Like, firstly, he gets caught out. Ball right through the back of him, but there's no pace, mate. There's absolutely no pace about him, and that's one thing about Tav is his recovery for these kind of situations was something that always used to help him out when his position was bad. Just no pace, mate. And then just calamity errors after that. I think King thinks the ball's going out. I don't know if he thinks McGregor's behind him. I think he thinks the ball's going out for a corner. Because you can see by his reaction, kind of puts his head in his hands, and I think he knows he's kind of messed up with that. But it's just straight for the off, mate. It's a calamity errors.
Yeah, I mean the only thing makes me think he thinks McGregor's behind him is, the way he sort of he can get to it, right. So I think he would clear it. I don't think he would risk it rolling out. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think from Tav and I don't want, like, Stephen Davis is getting away with that one a bit as well. Wasn't tracking his man to the edge of the box. He's sort of 5-6 yards. The guy, if the guy's peeled off in front of you, even before a cross, and he's running into the box and it's your man, you've got to bust a gut to get back. You can't be jogging. You know where he's going. So yeah, I thought sort of from Tav to Davis to Greggs and King were all sort of at fault for that. But good teams tear you apart. Speaking of tear you apart, we almost get back into it. Kent beats his Matters. Bit of luck with the sort of 50-50. Gets past man. Actually hangs up a nice cross. Tillman rises. Sakala rises. Sakala gets it. At first, I thought Bassey's done an incredible clearance off the line, but I think from the replay it shows it was probably actually going wide. But it was a bit more positive, wasn't it? And you think, maybe Kent's up for it, and we're going to get chances at that point.
If you can take any, it's not even taking any positives for the halves, but Sakala for me, he's looked all right, mate. He's looked like he's wanted to actually, put in a bit of a shift tonight. Some nice touches. Obviously draws the foul, gets the boy booked, but even just kind of bringing stuff like that up, mate, is positives in the half. There are no positives. We're looking at, he got a player booked, or he showed a wee bit of fight. It's shocking, mate. It's shocking at the fact that we've had to resort to this is what we're looking like.
Yeah.
This is what we're taking at the halves. Like, look at that. He had a header that was not even on target anyway, mate. Honestly, if Sakala just bloody finishing is shocking, isn't it? It's gone wide, man. If freaking John Kennedy was assassinated by Sakala, he'd still be here.
I think one of the issues with Sakala is, and I've been a critic of Sakala because I've said it before, we describe him as raw, but he's sort of 25, 26. You can't really be raw. You're not going to learn much at that age. I think he has got better since he's been here, and he is trying new things. And I think the one thing he does give you is you can see defenders are terrified of his pace. Whenever he gets that run, they'll bring him down and they'll take the yellow card because they're terrified of him. He does give you that. The problem is he doesn't really know what he's doing himself, and he's gonna. He could run away with the ball without the ball. Sorry, and he's just clumsy, isn't he? And it's I don't think he's good enough long term. I think he's shown enough for me that I think domestically at least he's the option we have to use out there. Following on from that sort of chance, we start getting a bit battered, to be honest. Every time Tab moves up the pitch, anytime they get the ball, they hit it in behind him every single time. And I don't know if this is Davis and Arfield aren't mobile enough to get over and cover like sort of Kamara and Jack used to. But we're getting caught out every single time down that. I mean, Borna's not pushing up as much, so it's not happening as much there. But Tab's getting caught out. 27 minutes, King receives the ball and does something I think we're told not to do from like 8 years old and plays it across his own box. They pounce again, and it's a save from McGregor. Not long later, they rip us apart again. It's a save from McGregor, and you just sort of at this point there, you're thinking, when's the second going to be going in?
You're right. it was a matter of time, mate, for that. You're going to see how shite we've been. Sorry, so you need to go through it. Aye, mate, it was just matter of time. Matter of time after those chances, like you're saying, it's the hospital pass for King over. But it's just been, I mean, we spoke about it before, the writing was on the wall pretty much for when we saw that midfield. Tab benefits for having like a Jack or a Lundstrom who can cover when he's doing those runs, but we've got a midfield who, mate, to be frankly honest, I'm pretty sure David Murray would bring more legs to that midfield than they do. It's ridiculous. It's actually ridiculous, like how pedestrian we've all been, and it's not even it's because they're known for the want of trying. Mate, Davis is 36, Arfield is 34.
Yeah,
they've not got the legs to do it anyway.
Yeah.
They've not got the legs to do it anyway, mate. It's just we're getting ran ragged by a young midfield, a young hungry Ajax midfield, mate. It was inevitable, to be honest. We can all sit and talk about how we're thinking we could maybe have a good result at home, or the fans would get behind us. It's a team that's fucking far better than us, mate. And it doesn't help that we're playing with a team that's injury hit and having to play these players.
Yeah, and again, the second goal comes similar. We just spoke about Sakala, like he has a lot of deficiencies in his game, and one of them I think is he gets caught ball watching, which I think when players aren't quite at that standard, that they do get caught doing that. The goal's not totally his fault, but he does get caught ball watching. Ajax obviously don't give up on it, keep it in play, put it back, and then I'm not sure what happens. I don't know why this keeps happening. It's very frustrating to me because it happened in the weekend against Aberdeen. We just stop. The ball comes into our box, and we all stop, and we just wait for it to basically go in the back of the net. James Sand sort of gets stuck in mud, doesn't sort of backs off the guy, but doesn't block it. And then King, I think King's a little unlucky because it's come straight at him, and he's just trying to put his head on it to get it somewhere, and it's obviously deflected off and gone into the back of the net. And at this point, I'm thinking this is going to be anything they want it to be.
I mean, that's one of my biggest pet peeves with defenders, is see defenders that sit and watch the player. Like, he's on the 6-yard line. All you need to do is approach him, limit the angle that he can shoot from. Sands just stands there, mate, like waiting for him to do what he's going to do. They blaming King for that. It's just, at least he's trying to make a block, mate. It's just been unfortunate that it's went at the back of the net.
Yeah. I know we're rushed for time, so I want to let everyone get back to sort of get on with their match. The last thing I put down was, and I'm honestly disgusted that this is what it's come to try and discuss a positive. Just before half time, Tillman tracks back really well and wins the ball back and wins a free kick at the halfway line. That's sort of the big positive I had for the half. So that's how bad it's got. What are you thinking for half time, Lee? Are you expecting changes? I mean, are we going to? Do you think at this point we have to bring Glenn Kamara on? Maybe even Alex Lowry?
Aye, I think Kamara's a sensible one. If you're being like from a fan's side, you probably want to see Lowry come on, get minutes in the legs, so that we can kind of try to get him up to speed now. On the other side of that, and you're throwing him to the dogs, the same way some people believe that we're throwing King to the dogs. It's a lose-lose situation in that sense, mate. You bring on Kamara and then kind of just try to shore up a wee bit and see how we go, because we need a wee bit more mobility in that midfield.
Yeah, I think, as I say, I wouldn't really give pass marks to anyone. Mate, Sakada's got the effort, you can't fault, but it's not really going for him either. Although I think he's probably been the better of a bad bunch. Cholak's not had a sniff, which makes me worry that he'll bring Morelos on because he'll think, this is why I play Morelos. But we don't know. we just wanted to see that fight, though, didn't we? We wanted to see that hunger, that desire that we showed against Aberdeen. We get that they haven't got the legs. It's not we've got injury problems. It's not Gio's fault that he can't put certain players on the pitch, but it's frustrating, isn't it, Lee, when you're just not. It feels like they're not working hard.
It's just you can't even put it down to like Ajax just been the better teammate, because fair enough they are, fair enough they get the better quality, but all we're asking for is to show a bit of fight. Like they're not showing it. Like we said, maybe for the first 2 minutes they came at the traps. They're like, oh, maybe they're going to try, put in a bit of effort. But it's just the second that we concede the first goal, it's just the heads drop, and it's like, oh well, let's just get this over with. Let's get back onto domestic business, and that's not good enough. It doesn't matter, mate, that we're way out of our depth here. You don't need to be a quality side to show a bit of fight. Like you don't need to match them in any other department other than fight to at least show a bit of pride in yourself. And the players they're letting themselves down, mate, more than they're letting us. We know these players are capable of much better. They're just throwing in the towel.
Yep. So I think we'll leave it there, and we'll get back for the second half if you're brave enough to go back and watch it. We will be back for the reaction, good or bad. Probably bad, but good or bad. I believe we've got Scotty and JD. I know Ross is sort of sniffing about in the group chat, so I don't know if he's subbing in for Scotty or not. But do come back, and we'll at least share all the misery loves company, so we'll at least share that together. But until then, hopefully we'll have something a bit better to cheer in the second half. But we'll see you for the reaction. Thanks very much.